All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here on this April 14th. We are very fortunate. Felecia, if you could hit *6 on your phone, that will unmute you because everybody's been muted. *6, not pound, but *6, the one on the bottom left. That would be swell.
No.
And I'll introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, Felecia Burke. She's with Agave Title in Arizona. Felecia, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So I thought we would have you on today. Well, before we do that, tell them a little about yourself, how long you've been in title, all that good stuff, please.
Oh, my gosh. I've been in title. It's 20 years now. I started in 2005 in Colorado, and I was an elementary school teacher before that. I taught 4th and 5th grade for 10 years until I saw the light, Rick, until
no wonder you get along with
I saw the other
so well.
side.
That's
what everyone says. No. They say it's like a field trip.
Right. Every day is like a field trip. I love it.
Right. You count them. You make sure they eat.
Right. Exactly right. You count them. That's funny. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Is everybody here? Is everyone present?
Right.
So, and it was an easy transition for me, actually, from education to sales, and I didn't think it would be. You know, the old saying is those that can't teach. I think it's those that teach do. They just do.
Right.
So I just kind of jumped in and learned the business. And as an educator, I wanted to know everything about title. So I really immersed myself about it. And then I wanted to go talk to all the agents about it. But they really didn't want to know about title. So I just had to learn what they wanted to know. And I did very well, and I was in Colorado, and then we moved here to Arizona, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, if this was my opportunity to get out of title, but I met Glenda at Agave Title, and here I am, still doing what I love to do.
I have to say, it is the best name in title, Agave.
It is. It is, and with your radio voice, it's even better.
Why, thank you. All right. So, you know what? It's so true because this is what agents want to know. They want help with their marketing, as we know, and as you're doing, and you guys are helping them with all kinds of different things, phone numbers, but they also want to know that when their transaction is with a company like Agave, that it's handled and they don't have to worry about it. I would say that's probably the most important part, right?
Absolutely. We tried to let them know, look, you focus on the real estate side. You're the expert with real estate. Let us do the title side. We're here to be a support for you. And if you have any questions or if we need to reach out to your client, we're more than happy to do that. But you focus on the real estate. And, it's all about trust, trusting the partner you're with. And that's really what we are is, we're a partner, an extension to their business, especially with Berkshire Hathaway and Home Services of America. So they don't have to worry about that. And it's kind of that peace of mind.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
That's, years ago when I was selling and I started my team, that was the thing. I had a loan originator named Lorraine and I had a title person named Lynn. And, it was, all I wanted to know is that the loans were taken care of. And it's also, we also did business back and forth too, which was nice. But that's the thing, like you said, we're a team, Prosperity Mortgage, Agave Title in Arizona, it's equity. And anyway, every state's a little different, but the service is very, very similar. So tell them a little about okay, so I'm an agent. I want a little help with my marketing on my farm. Give them a little help on what you guys actually do to help them, please.
So if they're a newer agent, I like to sit down with them and just talk to them about their systems because I think it's super important to create those systems early. If you have a seasoned agent and they don't have those systems in place, to go back and to recreate that would take a lot of time and, brain power, insanity, right? That's where they just feel stuck. But when they're new agents, I really like to talk to them about, gosh, when you're creating your CRM, make sure when you're putting the names in, start ranking them now. I always ranked the people in my CRM like A, B, C, D, E. A are my top and E are my people I should eliminate, but I'm too afraid to. Or, but in our CRM within, or the VAC, there's stars. So just, a 1 star is someone maybe you don't know
Good
very
point.
well where your 5 stars are people that, they're your billboards, your raving fans. So I really like to just talk to them about their systems and then categorizing your CRM, right? Having different categories. Are they investors? Are they first-time home buyers? Are they sellers? Are they buyers? So that way when you see properties, when we're viewing all the inventory, you can say, oh, I'm going to send this to my investors. This could be a really good flip, a flip. And then you don't have to go through your CRM every time, and you just grab that category and you send it just to your investors, right? So just teaching them how to start organizing and making systems for their business that make them work smarter, not harder. Everything that we preach. But
that's a great point.
Yeah. And, a lot of times people don't talk to them about that until, they meet you later in the game and they're like, oh, shoot, I should have done that sooner.
Right.
But
I love it.
I do like to talk to agents about, I always say do not should on yourself, right? I should be doing a farm. I should be doing a newsletter. I should be doing don't do that. Just let me know and let me help you, because we do have a lot of tools, and we can have a one-on-one where we have, I go over what works for your business isn't going to work for someone else's business.
Right.
So I really like to just sit down and have the one-on-ones and find out what it is that they're looking for in their business. Sometimes, they realize, I don't know what I'm looking for. And sometimes they know. And so it's making that relationship and how I can fit the missing pieces.
Yeah. And giving them direction, like you're talking about. It's funny that you do it based on, A, B, C, D, E, and you do it based on, their importance and so forth. I used to do it on time, in the VAC, there'd be 5 stars. I would be 5 be my most important. Those are the people I want to make sure I talk to at least once a month. All right.
Yeah.
The 4 stars would be every other month, and then it would be once a quarter. And then some people even twice a year is nice.
Right.
So having that, and I used to do it ABCD as well, right? Based on, but it was always based on frequency of contact. So if I saw you at the supermarket, right, and you're my A, well, we already had a talk because I just can't help myself. See, some people are ashamed of being a salesperson. I am not. I am proud of it. I'm glad I'm one.
Right.
I love everything about it, right? So I have no problem. Now, I'm not obnoxious about it. I always start by getting in rapport with people, talking to them about their lives. And remember, rapport means I'm talking to you about you, not me. Most agents don't get that. Well, let me tell you about the market.
Let me help
tell you
you.
how wonderful I am. Yeah. Instead of let me help you. That's right. A lot of agents think that's what you talk to people about, but it's not. Right. So I love it. I love it too. And
I don't like to feel like it's a harassment. I don't want to feel like it's a harassment by any means. It is. It's about the relationship. And we've heard the adage, you use it all the time. Do they like you, know you, trust you? Right. So you have to get through those. You have to get through those steps. Right. So once they learn to trust you, that your character and who you are, and you, if you say something, you're going to do it. And I think you just start building that relationship from there. Right.
Yeah. And I'll add another one. They don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. That's very important today.
Right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I heard a great one this morning, Felecia. I actually did it as my video because Michelle Kubiak, one of our great agents from Nevada, also now in Sedona, it said, you've never been more experienced or older, right, than you are right now. At the same time, you'll never be younger than today to achieve your goals. Isn't that a great way to put it?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
So I stole it. I gave her credit because next time I mention it, I will not give her credit. But I always give I call myself idea agnostic. I steal from everybody once, I like it, but I do give them credit the first time. After that, it's just it's what I'm thinking.
Then, right. Now it's yours.
Right. I own it because I've said it more than once.
Well, we do. We have to, to continue to learn and grow, you always have to be sharing, right? And that's, honestly, that's what I love when I get to meet with the agents is just sharing what I've learned over the 20 years and seeing what works for them. Because they truly have to find something that's going to work for them for it to be more natural and authentic selling. Because if we're like, go door knocking, but if they don't feel comfortable with that, they're not going to do it. There's going to be a lot of resistance, so they have to ease their way into it. They'll find their way.
Right. Whether it's calling or active.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I think some of the things that we say are old school or old ways of selling, they're people-facing. So I don't think that they're old learnings by any means. They still work. Postcards and mailers and farming and door knocking, all that stuff still works because we're in front of people. It really does.
Yeah. I call it pick your proactive. You know, whether you go door knocking or whether you do an active open house or whether you make some phone calls or whether you do all the above or get crazy on your social media, you got to be proactive. There's got to be proactive activities within your schedule in order to achieve your goal. Otherwise, you're never going to get there as fast.
Yeah.
Right. So you bring up an interesting point, learning from other agents. I mean, I've been coaching for a long time and I sold myself, but I've been doing this 40 years now. It's my 40th year in this business. Can you imagine that?
Wow, congratulations. Congratulations. You
That's
survived.
How I feel. I'm still alive.
And still surviving.
And I don't look 103. I mean, I might look 102, but I don't look 103.
No, you look great. Look, I just saw you running on the beach.
Right. That's right. That was my I'm 60 photo, except I didn't put it on there. Right. That was my wife, actually. She took that. She always pays that's our standard photo every time we go to Mexico, walking down the beach. And it's she always pays the guy by the pool to come down to the beach with us and take that picture every year.
Oh, it's wonderful, though. It was, yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it's great to capture those moments.
It really is. And that's what, I consider social media not just a way of doing business. It's also like a what do you call it when you log journal? It's like a journal, too.
Absolutely. And you can go back and see it and see how you've changed and grown or look better than before or it really is.
If you're working too, right? Yeah. So speaking of social media, what's some of the things that you've learned, taught, helped agents with when it comes to social media? Because I know you guys are pretty good on the social media too.
Yeah, that's I don't want to say it's fairly new, but I'm at the age where I'm more of a Facebook user.
Right.
So I'm in Facebook and I remember about Instagram, but TikTok and things like that, I'm learning. So that's where I get to learn with the agents. And I do think some of it's just age and what we're used to. I used Facebook, when it first came out. So shoot, you remember MySpace? Like
yes. Yeah, I do actually.
I know, me too. So it's just learning with the agents, but I try to post something that maybe they could share or use even on their page, so it's just easy. But because I'm part of Home Services of America, I can also show them on the VAC where there's tons of resources that are accessible for them. So if they're not good with it, at least, it's done for you and we can walk through those steps. So, I really feel that we don't have to be the expert with social media.
Right.
Because it's there for us. We just have to learn the tool that helps us with it, right? So I really find myself teaching the agents where to find it on the VAC because there's just so many great tools within and right at our fingertips. But sometimes when we just start, we don't even know where everything is. So it's just breaking it down. It's like, oh, I want to do more in social media. How can you help me? Oh, well, have you looked at the VAC? Have you, it's just right here. If you go to here and you click on this and, or there's an app or, it's just remembering all the tools that we have through Berkshire and just reteaching those. So for me, it's...
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, for me, it's just showing the agents where to find the resources.
Yeah.
Because there's so much I don't know just because of my age. But I'm learning.
Right.
And posting.
Yeah, that's the key. And does it shock you sometimes? Because it does kind of me that, when you're dealing with X amount of agents, how few of them use the VAC to its intended extent.
Yes.
It's really, isn't it? I mean, I'm like, I don't
Yes.
understand why. It's because that's the easiest part. I mean, some people can argue talking to people is tougher, but I don't see that myself. But doing it all, you got to have some proactive, you got to have some digital, you got to have some social, you got to have a little of everything. And it's just shocking to me that that more of our agents don't use it more.
I know. So, and honestly, it's a great tool for me to be part of Home Services of America because I have access to the VAC where I get to train them. So it gives me kind of a leg up on the competition, right? There's so many title companies within the Valley. I mean, there are just, I can't believe how many there are.
Right.
So it kind of gives me a leg up because I'm a true partner. We're on the same system. Let me help you. Let me show you where you can find us.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Absolutely.
with, designing postcards and stuff. Well, let me help you. There's Abby in the Arizona area. Maria's great, but I'm just another extension on that.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, the whole idea is just to set them up on, like to me, like you just mentioned age. So like for me, if I got back into real estate today, I would spend most of my time in the VAC, and I would probably eventually learn how to use BHS Connect more. But if you're a super techie person, then you're probably going to use BHS Connect more. But I mean, whatever, as long as you're doing something and they're getting something consistent from you digitally, and whether the social media is all Facebook or part Instagram, and that would also depend on your age for sure, right? The key is just to be consistent.
It is. It absolutely is. Consistent and persistent, right?
Yes.
You don't need to be pushy. It's just persistent. So people don't forget about you.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Have you guys noticed? Have you guys noticed that the market is definitely? I've noticed in the last couple of weeks, Arizona included, that the market has definitely picked up a notch or two.
It has. It really has,
Yeah.
and it's great. So last month we hit our internal goal, and we're going strong for April. So, with our opens and closed orders, my goal now is to get more agents, the same agents, to repeat. Right? We have a lot of onesie twosies that work with Agave. So now we want to see them using us more consistently. But we've definitely felt the uptick in the market, and it feels great. I love it. It's great energy, really good energy.
Yeah, it's the spring market. It's also it's that time where inventory is going up a little bit, but also the transaction numbers are. It's weird as the inventory goes up, the transaction numbers start to mirror it. I think people are just getting used to the interest. Everybody knows the interest rates are going to get better, and you're going to be able to refinance. And I think they've all just accepted. All right. This is the interest rate.
This is where it's at, right?
Stop me. It shouldn't stop me from continuing to penalize myself by renting. Right, get out there and do something.
Right. Yeah. If you can afford that payment, it's do it. Don't wait.
Right. Yeah. No, it's so true. So true.
Yeah.
So true. So as you work, I'm going to put you on the spot here. As you work with agents and so forth, my favorite question is, if you could narrow it down to the three most important elements or traits or actions of a real estate agent, what have you noticed to be the top three?
It's hard not to repeat some of the ones that we've heard over the podcast.
Oh, perfectly fine. Yes.
But I would say number one is you need to build a relationship with people, right? We're in the people business. We said it before, but we're not going to be replaced by AI. We're not going to be replaced by, these iBuyers or anything. We are in the people business, and it's all about relationship. So I think just whenever there's someone that comes across authentic and, the whole listen before you ask, that's the most important thing is you need to be in front of people. They need to get to know you. And I think that's just built on referrals and repeat clients and, what is it? Wash, rinse, repeat.
Right, exactly.
So I think if you stay in touch with your relationship and your sphere, and I think that's definitely number one, just because we're in the people business. It's not sales business. We're in the people business.
Okay. Right. I agree.
Number two, Number two, I would have to say follow up. Follow up and follow through are definitely where I see people, I wouldn't say make mistakes, but that's definitely becomes a pitfall because you get so busy, right? And then you forget to follow up, or, you did all the marketing before, so now you're busy, and then you drop off doing marketing, and now you're not busy, so you do marketing again, and you get stuck in this, feast and famine type cycle. So I think if we just follow up with using our CRM and keeping that part of our habit, I think that's super important. And just staying on top of mind when you follow up with their clients.
Right. Right. As the old saying goes, the fortune is in the follow-up.
Yeah. Yeah. And the next is just be an expert in your area. Know your market inside and out. We've got Cromford Report, we've got Altos Report, we've got, the local MLS. There's so much data out there that it can get a little overwhelming. So I think you just need to know, look, if I'm focusing on 85254, or if I just need to know the market. I need to know what kind of inventory is out there, what the price ranges are, the days on market. And there's so many tools out there that can help the agents, but they really need to understand their local market, the trends, the pricing, the neighborhoods, the lifestyle perks, really become an expert in a certain area because the valley is so big. You just can't cover it all.
And I think that that's what they're paying you for, whether you're a seller, right, and you're paying a commission to an agent to sell your home, or whether you're a buyer paying. I mean, buyers, I think, is actually a little bit more work because with a buyer agent, you're saying you're an expert of the market basically with that form, and that's why I think you need to be working FSBOs. Yeah, right. So you got to do your homework. I love what you're saying, Felecia, because you got to do your homework.
Yeah. Yeah. And how many, properties are for sale by owner in that area, right? I think that's important for people to know. Why are there? And that could be a great marketing tool for an agent to go into some for sale by owner areas.
Yeah.
And that's tools that, Agave has and to help agents.
Right. Yeah. Like I know there's one company, no names mentioned, Compass, that, promotes that we have like our own inventory in house. I'm like, it's really crap because having your own inventory, like knowing about FSBOs is one thing, but having like pocket inventory, it's a violation of the Realtor Code of Ethics. I think it's also be careful what you say to people too, because it's just a matter of knowing the market, whether it's for sale by owner or MLS. Or even Zillow properties that could be available. Do your homework. It allows you to come from a place of confidence when you're comfortable. Like, I know my area where I work. I know what's on the market. I know what's sold. I know what's currently active. I know what FSBOs are on the market. I know what old expireds could come back. Just know your market. Do your homework.
Absolutely.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't outsmart someone that doesn't know the market. You're always going to be top of mind.
And that's why they pick you, because if they feel that you know more than them about what they're looking to do, they hire you. If they feel you don't, they don't. It's not complicated.
Right.
So anything I didn't mention or ask you that you feel you need to mention as we almost finish here?
No, I think we covered it all, Rick. I think it's just most important is, we're at Agave Title, we're a true partner for Home Services of America, and we've got tools to help agents, and we're willing to help them. We're here. Yeah. We're really part of the partnership, and we're excited.
Right.
Use us. I know that use and abuse,
the best
right?
Name and title, the best name and title, Agave. With Felecia and Glenda, you can't lose using these two because they are thebomb.com. All right, there you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. And I just want to say thank you for taking your time out today. Really appreciate you giving these guys your nuggets. And you look at guys, if you're in Arizona and you haven't set a one-on-one with Felecia, do it. It only makes sense to and start using the tools and all the goodies that we have. It's all great stuff. You're running a business. act like a business person.
Amen.
There you have it. Amen.
Rick,
All
thank
right,
you.
Felecia,
I'm
thank you very much for your
honored.
time
Thank
today.
you so much. Thank
Oh, my
you.
pleasure.
You take
Thank you.
care.
Thank you for taking your time
All
out.
right.
You too.
Of course.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.